In the 2022-23 NBA season, the players showcased solid performance in 55 games, averaging 35.5 minutes on the court. They contributed 55 points per game, making 11.1 field goals out of 22.2 attempts. With 7.1 defensive rebounds and 1.2 offensive rebounds, they displayed strong rebounding skills. Additionally, their 55 assists per game reflect excellent playmaking abilities. On the defensive end, they averaged 0.9 steals and 0.6 blocks, but had a turnover rate of 3.2 per game. With only 1.6 personal fouls on average, their discipline was a notable asset. This player appeared in 29 games, averaging 33 minutes per game. They scored 29 points on 7.3 field goals made out of 14.8 attempts. With 6.5 defensive rebounds and 1.7 offensive rebounds, they displayed strong rebounding skills. Additionally, their 29 assists per game showcased solid playmaking abilities. On the defensive end, they averaged 0.7 steals and 0.6 blocks. In the 2022-23 NBA season, the player averaged 53 points in 53 games, with 34.6 minutes on the court. He displayed strong scoring, but lower defensive contributions with 1.0 steals and 0.3 blocks. However, turnovers at 2.7 and 3.0 personal fouls per game are areas for improvement. This player shined in 63 games, averaging 63 points while showcasing remarkable efficiency with 7.8 field goals on 18.9 attempts. Their well-rounded game included 63 assists and 1.2 steals per game. Low turnovers, 2.1, and personal fouls, 1.9, emphasize their disciplined play, though minor room for improvement exists. This player contributed consistently in 45 games, averaging 45 points per game with solid rebounding, 5.0 defensive rebounds, and playmaking, 45 assists. However, turnovers at 3.3 and 2.6 personal fouls are areas for improvement, while their defensive stats could use a slight boost. This player stood out, featuring in 74 games with impressive all-around stats. Averaging 74 points, 74 assists, and 4.5 defensive rebounds, they demonstrated remarkable versatility. They also showcased defensive prowess with 1.5 steals. Low turnovers, 2.2, and personal fouls, 1.4, highlight their disciplined play. However, their scoring efficiency with 8.3 field goals on 17.8 attempts and block stats, 0.3, could see slight improvements for a more well-rounded performance. This player displayed consistency in 67 games, contributing 67 points and 67 assists. Their well-rounded play included strong rebounding, 5.7 defensive and 1.2 offensive rebounds, and defensive efforts, 1.1 steals. While turnovers at 2.9 and personal fouls at 2.6 are moderate, scoring efficiency with 10.1 field goals on 20.6 attempts and a slight increase in blocking, 0.4, could enhance their performance. In the 2022-23 season, the players showcased consistency, appearing in 71 games and contributing 71 points and assists each. Strong rebounding, 6.0 defensive and 1.8 offensive rebounds, and well-rounded stats with 0.9 steals and 0.5 blocks per game were notable. While turnovers and personal fouls were reasonable at 2.4 and 3.2, they could focus on slightly improving scoring efficiency with 8.9 field goals on 18.5 attempts. The player was a consistent presence in 73 games, contributing 73 points and assists. Their well-rounded game included 3.6 defensive rebounds and 1.1 steals per game. With reasonable turnovers, 2.5, and personal fouls, 2.4, they could slightly boost scoring efficiency, 9.3 field goals on 18.2 attempts, for an even more impactful performance. The player had an impressive performance, featuring in 74 games with 74 points and assists each. Their contributions extended to strong rebounding, 7.7 defensive and 1.1 offensive rebounds, and defensive efforts with 1.1 steals and 0.7 blocks per game. While turnovers at 2.9 and personal fouls at 2.2 are moderate, they could enhance scoring efficiency with 9.8 field goals on 21.1 attempts for an even more well-rounded impact. In the 2022-23 NBA season, the player showed consistency, playing 66 games with a significant role, averaging 34.4 minutes. They contributed offensively with 66 points, shooting 8.7 field goals per game on 17.3 attempts. Their well-rounded game included 2.0 offensive and 6.7 defensive rebounds and 66 assists. However, their defensive stats were relatively modest, with 0.6 steals and 0.6 blocks. They need to work on reducing turnovers, 1.9, and personal fouls, 2.1, to further enhance their overall performance. This player showcased their scoring prowess, averaging 68 points per game while playing 68 games with 35.8 minutes. They were efficient, making 10 field goals on 20.6 attempts. Their contribution extended to playmaking with 68 assists and decent defense, recording 1.5 steals. However, they need to reduce turnovers, 2.6, and improve rebounding and shot blocking. Managing personal fouls, 2.5, could further enhance their overall impact on the court. This player demonstrated versatility, contributing 75 points, 75 assists, and strong rebounding, 2.5 offensive, 6.7 defensive. They need to work on reducing turnovers, 2.5, and personal fouls, 2.8, while maintaining their steals, 1.2, and blocks, 0.8. With consistent minutes, 34.6, and efficiency, 8.0 field goals on 14.9 attempts, they are a well-rounded asset to their team. In the 2022-23 NBA season, the player demonstrated consistency with 64 games played and 35 minutes per game. They contributed 64 points and 64 assists, but need to improve on turnovers, 3.0. Their defensive skills were decent with 6.4 defensive rebounds, 0.6 steals, and 0.5 blocks. Managing personal fouls, 2.3, and increasing offensive rebounds could further enhance their performance. This player showcased consistency, contributing 68 points and 68 assists in 68 games with 35 minutes per game. Their well-rounded game included 0.6 offensive rebounds, 3.0 defensive rebounds, and 0.9 steals. They need to work on reducing turnovers, 2.1, and personal fouls, 2.2, while increasing shot blocking to enhance their overall impact. This player was a scoring machine, averaging 68 points with an impressive 10.4 field goals on 20.3 attempts per game. They also contributed defensively with 1.6 steals and 1.0 blocks, although they need to reduce turnovers, 2.8, and personal fouls, 2.8. With 68 assists, they demonstrated versatility, and their well-rounded performance was showcased in 68 games with 35.5 minutes per game. In the 2022-23 NBA season, this player demonstrated solid contributions, scoring 62 points and providing 62 assists in 62 games with 35 minutes of playtime. While their shooting efficiency was decent, their defensive stats, 0.7 steals, 0.2 blocks, could improve. Managing turnovers, 2.1, and personal fouls, 2.3, better will enhance their overall performance. This player contributed with 73 points and 73 assists in 73 games, demonstrating consistency. They need to work on reducing turnovers, 4.1, and increasing defensive contributions, such as steals and rebounds, to enhance their overall performance. This player showcased a strong offensive presence, scoring 66 points while averaging 10.9 field goals per game. They also contributed defensively with 7.8 defensive rebounds and 1.4 steals. However, they need to work on reducing turnovers, 3.6, and personal fouls, 2.5, while aiming to increase shot blocking to enhance their overall impact. With 66 assists, they displayed versatility on the court, playing 66 games with an impressive 36.2 minutes per game. This player displayed strong scoring efficiency, averaging 9.8 field goals made on 16.2 attempts per game. They contributed well on both ends with 2.0 offensive and 5.0 defensive rebounds and 1.1 steals. However, they need to reduce turnovers, 3.4, and personal fouls, 2.2, to maximize their impact. Playing 29 games with 33 minutes per game, they showed promise but could benefit from more consistency. This player contributed 61 points and 61 assists, showcasing a balanced offensive game. They need to improve efficiency, 9.3 field goals on 19.9 attempts, and reduce turnovers, 3.4. Their defense is solid with 1.1 steals and 0.3 blocks, but managing personal fouls, 1.6, better would enhance their overall performance. Playing 61 games with 31.9 minutes per game, they have room for growth. In the 2022-23 NBA season, this player contributed consistently with 69 points and 69 assists in 69 games, playing 35.5 minutes per game. While they need to improve their shooting efficiency, 7.6 field goals on 16.4 attempts, they displayed good defensive instincts with 1.2 steals and 2.3 rebounds. Reducing turnovers, 2.9, and managing personal fouls, 2.1, better would further enhance their overall impact on the court. This player displayed consistency, contributing 63 points and 63 assists in 63 games with 32.8 minutes per game. They need to work on improving their shooting efficiency, 8.0 field goals on 17.7 attempts, but showed good defensive and rebounding contributions with 4.2 defensive rebounds. Their low turnovers, 2.1, and personal fouls, 2.0, reflect their disciplined play style, making them a valuable asset to their team. In the 2022-23 NBA season, this player displayed remarkable durability, playing all 82 games with consistent contributions, 82 points and 82 assists. They could enhance their scoring efficiency, 6.7 field goals on 15.6 attempts, and defensive stats, with 0.8 steals and 2.4 defensive rebounds. Reducing turnovers, 3.1, and personal fouls, 2.6, would make them an even more valuable asset to their team. This player showcased versatility, contributing 79 points and 79 assists in 79 games with 36 minutes per game. They displayed a solid all-around game with 8.9 field goals made on 19.5 attempts and 5.2 defensive rebounds. Their defensive presence was notable with 1.6 steals and 0.7 blocks. However, they need to work on reducing turnovers, 3.3, and personal fouls, 2.4, to enhance their overall impact. This player displayed strong scoring ability but needs to improve shot selection, 8.2 field goals on 20.0 attempts. Their well-rounded game included 36 points, 36 assists, and 6.5 rebounds. Defensively, they contributed with 1.3 steals, but they need to reduce turnovers, 3.6, and personal fouls, 3.3, to enhance their overall performance. In the 2022-23 NBA season, this player demonstrated consistency with 56 points, 56 assists, and solid defensive contributions. They need to work on shot efficiency, 7.4 field goals on 15.0 attempts, but their low turnovers, 2.5, and personal fouls, 1.2, make them a valuable asset to their team. With 1.6 steals and 0.4 blocks, their overall impact on both ends of the court is commendable. This player contributed consistently with 58 points and 58 assists in 58 games, while demonstrating good defensive presence with 4.3 defensive rebounds and 1.0 steals. They need to improve shot efficiency, 7.8 field goals on 16.2 attempts, and reduce turnovers, 2.2, and personal fouls, 2.6, to enhance their overall performance. Their well-rounded game with 0.7 offensive rebounds and 0.4 blocks shows promise. This player showcased consistency, contributing 76 points and 76 assists in 76 games with 34.2 minutes per game. They need to improve shot efficiency, 7.4 field goals on 17.9 attempts, and defensive stats, but their low turnovers, 2.6, and personal fouls, 1.7, reflect disciplined play, making them a valuable asset to their team. This player showcased scoring ability, 47 points, and strong defensive presence with 6.3 defensive rebounds and 1.4 blocks. They need to work on shot efficiency, 10.3 field goals on 18.3 attempts, and reducing turnovers, 3.3, while maintaining their disciplined play with low personal fouls, 2.1. With 47 assists, they contribute both on offense and defense in 47 games with 35.6 minutes per game.